What's up, everybody? Hope everyone's doing well. Excited to bring another stream for you here. Quick shout out to the sponsors, PrimeXBT. You guys have been crushing it. Using that link in the description of these videos, signing up to Prime, depositing money, actually trading on the platform. If you use code MAIN50 before you deposit, you get up to a 7% deposit bonus on a maximum deposit of $100,000. So all of you guys using that link, depositing money, thank you so much, because that directly is helping me out because I get a kickback from that. So if you want to support me, you want to help me out, use that link in the description. All right, so Bitcoin, obviously we've been tracking this range for a while now. We've had several successful trades during this time. We did have a loss on one of our trades, but for the most part we crushed it in July. That was the money I was able to withdraw. I basically took out all of the profits I'd made in July and just bought the car outright, which is awesome. So take profits, guys. It can buy you things in the real world. It's cool. But now we're above this range. It is an uptrend, right? These are higher highs and higher lows, and we potentially have a higher low forming here at that previous range high. So you want to determine, okay, is this going to have another leg up from here, or are we going to have some sort of correction? So that is going to be determined, in my opinion, on the lower time frame. I'm going to be looking at clues basically for long triggers and short triggers for another leg up. I do think that if we get another leg up, a level that I like, obviously you guys know I like this 28K level. If we got up here, any sort of long exposure I built down here, I'd be heavily offloading and taking profits up into this area, because this is basically the previous consolidation that led to this move down. So if we do have a move that goes up here, anybody who got long here, I think it would behoove you to definitely unload some of that and realize some profits if we get up to this 28K area. However, a level I like before the 28K area here is just this wick here around 26,500. You have a fair value gap here on the 12-hour as well that is confluent with that wick, right? We've tapped into it already a little bit here. You have a gap, right? Inefficient price action going up into that 26K level. So if we get one more leg up, I do think that's an area that you can potentially look at as a profit taking objective going up higher even. So let's say you were long from, here and here. I'd be layering sells up into this area to TP on those positions for sure. That's more high time frame view. Zooming in a little bit, within this 12-hour chart, we've held this range here and we're potentially putting in a higher low. If I actually take a new range and draw it from this low to this high, you'll see that within this price swing, we held up right around the mid-range here. That's not a bad sign for the bulls, in my opinion, that we've basically, had to move up. We've retraced. Ideally, we want a long in the lower 1/3 of the range, right? But sometimes it doesn't go that deep. Sometimes you only get 50. Sometimes in a really strong trend, you only get the 382 retracement. This is where we wanted to see the higher low form. If you remember from my last stream, I talked about this fib, and I said I want to see a higher low form somewhere in this area. If you were bullish, right? I ended up shorting because what I thought was going to happen happened exactly. We were trading here last stream. I wanted to see a move above these highs and then a short, and I was targeting down here. I shorted here. When we came in the mid-range and reclaimed, I cut my short exposure because we were holding the mid-range of this range and we were also holding the top of that previous range right here. So once price failed to get below there, notice how we literally wicked below and then closed above. We also put in a bullish swing failure pattern right here. I got out of all my short exposure. I did not long personally, so I did not catch any of this leg up, but that was my reason for closing. I was hoping, if you guys remember from the stream, to get lower. I was hoping that we would fill in more of this candle here and we would get to long a deeper retrace here. But I said the bull case here is that this is a high and we put in a higher low somewhere in this area. And what do, right? You mark out the area that you think the bulls might put in a bullish reaction, and then you go and look for bullish PA, 12-hour SFP. And if you zoom in on that area, we had a 1-hour breaker set up here. We had a break in market structure and then a pullback. So you had bullish PA form at an area where you had an expectation that it may form, and that's your signal to start hunting for longs. Personally though, I did not get in any long positions there. So what am I doing right now? What am I targeting? What am I aiming for? So I'm looking at the 12-hour chart, and all I really see right now is this bearish SFP just barely right? So we have this bearish SFP, lower high, higher high, lower high. So that's a 3 candle swing. We traded above it and then closed back below. That's an SFP. So watching this now and seeing how the 12-hour closed, what I'm now looking for is some sort of pullback into here. Now, the reason I like this order block still, even though it's already been retested, people might be like, oh, Trader Main, well, this order block's already been retested. But to me, this does not qualify as a retest. What would the reason be? This order block did not break market structure until here. So until this candle, this was not, in my system, considered an order block yet. And now that we've had that explosive move away, break in market structure, I'm now looking for a retrace to this area. So this is about what, 23,200 is the start of this order block, basically right around here. So I'm looking for something like this now. Maybe we run this low, but this is kind of the plan. Some sort of pullback into this bullish order block on the 12-hour chart is what I'm looking for to long. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you know that you could long here with your stop here, or you can do what I generally do, which is wait for price to retrace and then zoom in. Maybe we get an SFP on the low time frame here. And if that happens, I'm going to have a way tighter risk reward than if I would have just longed the order block with my stop below it. So this is what I'm looking for on Bitcoin right now. The reason I think we might get this retracement is because of this 12-hour SFP. This is also an SFP, by the way. There's your swing low. That's a bullish SFP right there. But if we zoom in, you have a 1-hour SFP, breakdown, retest, and sell-off occurring on the low time frame. So definitely getting some PA that is respecting this high time frame swing failure. So what I'm hoping for is one more leg down for me to get long, right? And then a move up, potentially as high as that 26K area. 25K I think is a good level. It's just a round number, big figure level. So that's kind of what I'm looking for on Bitcoin right now, is one more leg down, shake out some of these breakout longers here, and then I fill up my longs, and then we get another leg up for higher prices. That's what I'd like to see. So hopefully that's super duper clear. Pull back into here, look for longs. Target 1 obviously is always a new high, right? So if I'm longing this, let's just say I'm longing the 12-hour order block. Say we put some orders just below, like maybe here, my stop here. Your first target is always gonna be a new high. Look left, that's where you're gonna do your target placement, right? Where's your targets? Look to the left. This would be my obvious target 1, right? You could argue this is target 1, but I think if we're going to get this pullback and it's going to trend, or we're going to have another move higher, needs to make a new high above here, obviously. That would be T1, T2. So this is kind of the plan that we're looking for on Bitcoin, even to just a new high and longing the 12-hour order block. Let's say you just long the high, excuse me, with your stop there. So not even zooming in, not doing any refinement at all. It's still 2R just to the local high, 4.5R to the next target, right? Filling in some of that. Again, you can pull your fib if you want additional confluence. This low to this high, right? We'll zoom in just for a little bit more clarity, but within that range, where does the higher low that I want to see form? Where does the order block form? Right at the sweet spot, right at the OTE. So if we get that fib confluence, order block confluence, high time frame SR, right? That previous range high is right here. All the order block things, right? Near high time frame level. Do you have a bias? Right? All of those things are, did it break market structure? Ticking off all those boxes, now it's a valid order block. So that's what I'm looking for on Bitcoin. And I already know a bunch of people, because you've DM'd me, made money taking trades that I talked about in last stream. So I talked about this long scenario on the last stream, and I had 3 different people message me that they longed this pullback and made some money. So GG to those of you that did. All right, so that's the Bitcoin plan for now, and we will wait and see. Gonna be patient. I did take a little short on this hourly move here to try and catch some downside, right? So what I don't like seeing right now is basically within this fair value gap here, we just put in a bullish swing failure pattern. So I don't love that, because maybe that means that this is all the pullback we're getting. I don't know, but what I'm hoping for is this, and then I'm looking to long down here. That's my plan for now. If we start trading above these highs here, I'll simply look to get long on some sort of bullish PA. So what does that look like? I'm watching right now, right? Over under here. Let's assume that we don't pull back as deep as I want and we come up and we trade above here. Well, I would be looking for something very simple. Break in market structure, If we start putting in bullish PA above the 24,400 area, right above these highs here, I'm absolutely looking to long some sort of bullish PA that forms above this area, right? So if we don't pull back and we start trading above here, bullish price action, higher highs, higher lows on the hourly, the 4 hour, something like that, that would be my trigger to say, okay, boom, I'm now wanting to get long, right? Long a pullback, stop below the low that broke market structure to the upside. That's how I'm going to get long towards that 26K level, possibly as high as 28K. So this would be the breakout play. The pullback play is into this kind of 24, this zone, right? This area here. That's the pullback long. Those would be the two long scenarios that I'm looking at. Now, if we were to, for some reason, break down from here and continue to sell off, so we don't see any sort of bullish PA form at all, I would be using that former range high level, this level, as my flip short, or right, if you're not short yet, if we start trading back below here, that old range high, then I think you absolutely start looking for shorts into here if you're not short already, right? So if we pull back and then just keep selling off, right, I'm now looking for reasons to get short the market. Stop here, entry here, something like that, targeting this low and possibly lower. So those are all of the scenarios I'm looking at. Ideal situation though is just this one. This is what I'm looking for. However, I am prepared if we don't pull back from here, I will get into a breakout long above this high. Right? If we start trading bullishly above here, I will then look to get into some sort of breakout long. Okay, so this is your pullback. This is your breakout. So what does this all mean? It means I'm leaning towards the long side. I'm looking for ways to get into a long position. So Ethereum did the exact same move as Bitcoin. We had our leg here. And again, I was hoping for a pullback anywhere from here to here. We just came to the 50 and we got another leg. So we didn't get as deep as I wanted. I didn't get to fill any longs down there on Ethereum. We came into the 50, bounced immediately. Now we're potentially pulling back. The main thing I want you to look at here in the difference between Bitcoin and Ethereum. So if we look at Bitcoin on the 12 hour next to Ethereum on the 12 hour. So look at these two next to each other. What do you see the main difference is? The difference I see is that Ethereum is already trading at this consolidation from, May, June, whereas Bitcoin is not. Bitcoin is still well below this area. So what would you be able to surmise based on me showing you these two charts next to each other and seeing that Ethereum is already trading up into what the equivalent area on Bitcoin is like 28K, and Ethereum is there right now. So if you're looking at percentage off the bottom, Ethereum's up almost 100%, Bitcoin's up 40. What could you surmise based on these two charts looking at them like this? You could assume that ETH has been the play, right? And you could assume that Ethereum BTC has been super bullish. And if you look at that chart, there's your answer. Where's the difference between Bitcoin and Ethereum? Ethereum BTC looks like this. That's why Ethereum USD has outperformed Bitcoin since the bottom is formed. This has been in an uptrend. So now the question you have to ask yourself is, if you're looking for more upside, let's assume, is Ethereum BTC topping out? Or is this gonna keep rallying? This has had a big rally. Is this gonna go higher or is it gonna retrace? Because if this retraces, but both Bitcoin and Ethereum go up, Bitcoin's gonna go up more. But if this continues to rally and both Bitcoin and Ethereum go up, Ethereum is gonna go up more. So I do think that part of this discrepancy between the two charts is due to the people trading the merge, right? The merge is coming, Q3, Q4, and people are bullish on the Ethereum merge. And so, if you read Arthur's article, he believes that Bitcoin is going to get smoked by Ethereum post-merger. Ethereum's going to outperform Bitcoin. It's becoming more scarce. He thinks the bottom is in, and he thinks you need to be buying spot ETH and ETH calls future dated towards the spring of 2023. That's Arthur's view. If you agree with Arthur, that means that this chart needs to break out to the upside. And effectively, we will have had this year-long range deviate, trade to the bottom, deviate, trade back out. That's Arthur's view, is basically that this is going to happen. Bitcoin's going to go up, Ethereum's going to go up way more. Okay, so you as a trader, you need to determine what is your view on Ethereum BTC. Is it bullish? Is it due for a pullback? And then when you're determining which of the two to play, you need to use this chart to determine which one of those is going to give you the most volatility in terms of percent change. Because if this trades higher and the whole market trades higher, Ethereum is going to go up even more than Bitcoin. Looking at Ethereum on its own now, I think that similar to Bitcoin, I want to see a bit of a pullback. I would love to see a pullback maybe to here. You have a down candle before an up move, right? That broke market structure. I think this would be where you want to look to long Ethereum. So if Bitcoin's going to go up and follow that pullback and then move up, right? So if Bitcoin does this, I want to see Ethereum similarly do something like this. Pull back into here, trade higher. Where would I be targeting on Ethereum? I think 2K is a very clean number. All these highs are untouched here. And then you have the big round number at 2,000. Clean highs here, definitely this high. That would be probably target 1. Since we've already made a new high here, target 1 would probably be this high here. Definitely into 1,900. That would be the plan on Ethereum. If Bitcoin follows my pullback plan, that would be what I'd be looking at on Ethereum. And just like on Bitcoin, if Bitcoin gets this next leg up, 26 to 28K, let's assume we go from here. That's 10%, that's 20%. What would it be like on Ethereum here, right? To this high, 10%. And then another leg up here towards these highs. Again, that's 20%. So if we're looking at those next two legs up, potential for double-digit percent gains on Bitcoin and Ethereum from where we are right now, looking at how far we are already off the bottom, I would be unloading any sort of long exposure. So if you bought spot down here, if you got long here, if you're longing this, and we get another leg up, I think that the next move that comes after the next leg up is a sharp correction. Doesn't mean we're gonna make a new low necessarily. Maybe we do, but the bottom line is if you have spot and leverage positions that you're up 100% on, 50% on, 30, 40, 50% on in a bear market, in a massive high time frame downtrend, I think it's smart to definitely at least take some profits, because if we do this, and then we go up, well, do you want to eat this drawdown? Why not take some off here and then look to long again? That's how I operate. I think we're still in a downtrend high time frame. I think if we get one more leg up, it's probably followed by a sharp correction. So I would be looking to trim long exposure on Ethereum, 1,900 to 2K, Bitcoin 26 to 28 if we get that next leg up. So that's my thoughts personally. If you bought your spot here and you're holding it forever, by all means. Arthur thinks the bottom's in, but he said worst case scenario is Ethereum could go back to 1,000. Well, if you bought a bunch of spot down here, it was up almost 2x. And even if this becomes the bottom, do you really want to not have a chance for the double up? Or maybe the bottom isn't in and you bought spot here and then you hold it all the way back to a round trip and then it goes to literally negative 1,000. So just my thoughts, but this is the plan. This is the plan for Bitcoin here. This is the plan for Ethereum. It looks simple. It is simple. It's not about the TA being difficult. It's about actually executing when shit fucking happens. It's no different than this. Longing the range high retest is not rocket science. You had all of the confluence to do it. But the problem is when price got here, you probably thought it was going lower. People on Twitter were telling you the top is in, blah, blah, blah. You looked on the low time frame. You didn't pull trigger, even though you said, okay, well, Maine said this is an area where we may bounce. We have a low, lower low, higher low. We have a break in market structure. So all the stuff you want to see to get long happened here. But when it's happening live, it's often a little bit scarier because there's money on the line. Maybe you're wrong. Maybe you're going to take a loss, right? The TA, in my opinion, is not the hard part of trading. My TA is very basic. As you guys can tell, I don't do anything super complex and complicated. The hard part in trading, in my opinion, is executing. The execution aspect, and then obviously the mental game as well. Once you're in the trade, managing the emotions, things like that. Let's say that I'm wrong, which sounds like blasphemy. How could I ever be wrong? The most alpha. The stash, though. How about the stash? Just get on with it, Baldy, and he's a new viewer. Well, I hope you enjoyed your first ever viewing of the stream, because it's gonna be your last. You've just been blocked. It is what it is. Only on Twitter can you post a 6-figure vehicle purchase and get clowned anyways. What is your trading capital to be able to pull an Audi in July during a bear market? A lot more than yours from the sounds of it. Such a weird fucking question. How much money do you make? Where were you guys raised? There's certain things that are just social norms. You never ask a woman about her weight or her age, and you generally don't just ask people how much money they have or how much money they make. How much money's in your bank account? How much did you pay in tax last year? How much money do you have saved up? How much money do you save every month? How much money's in your trading account? Okay, you guys don't need to tell me how much money you're making because it's very sad. Jane, I can see already that you're trying to get on my nerves today. The fun is wearing off with you a little bit. At first, it was, you know, good, wholesome banter, but I can tell now that you're trying way too hard to just sound dumb and be funny and get attention. So rather than give it to you, I'm just gonna ignore you. Look, now there's two Jane C's and they're arguing with each other. I'll just let them fight amongst themselves. It's none of my business. You get your son to sign up with my Prime code and deposit some money, and maybe I'll think about wishing them a happy birthday. How do you reconciliate? Am I dumb or are you dumb? Are you bullish or bearish? That might be the dumbest question anyone not named Jane has asked me in a while. Look at the arrow. What do you think, bro? Markets are going up, number going up. BTC going to 28, bro. Wow, did you get that level right off of my chart? Bro, I'm doing my best, man. Come on, relax. Do you want to draw? Why don't you pick up an adult drawing book? It's math, dumbass. Wow, quite the comment, bro. I don't even know what you're referring to, but I'll just go ahead and say, go fuck yourself. How's that? Is that adult enough for you?